Hey, it's Byron Perry for Coconuts TV. We're here at Commonwealth Crescent Housing Estate in Singapore, and we are about to interview Andrea, who is Singapore's first transgender woman model. Hey everybody, we're here with Andrea, one of Singapore's most famous transgender women, and we are going to talk to her about being transgender in Singapore.
I'm so excited.
What is the transgender experience like in Singapore?
Singapore is quite international, so people here, they know about trans women, but you get a fair bit of Singaporeans who are okay with it, who are cool with it. And then you get a fair bit of Singaporeans who are completely against it because it's just something which they never really have encountered before in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't know about it, and when what you don't know, you fear.
Yeah.
You know, and in countries like Thailand, you know, where it's so common that like they're everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
you know, trans women, it's a lot more welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like seeing a regular person across the road.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing big, nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
In Europe, people are very intrigued.
Yeah.
You know, they don't discriminate against you. I'm talking about Northern Europe because,
Sure.
you know, I used to live there. They just want to know more. They want to just find out more about you. And it's low-key objectification,
Okay.
you know. It's
Low key.
Yeah, low-key objectification. It's not too much invasive. It's
Yeah.
more like you're being seen as this exotic new
Sure.
thing that just walked into town,
Yeah.
you know.
And how do you feel about that objectification? Does that bother you, or is it because it's low key, it's not really too big of a deal?
It used to affect me a lot
Yeah.
because I don't like it. I like to be treated as a normal person,
Yeah.
as I am, you know. But I feel like this is just how it is, you know, in this time of, you know, in where we are right now in terms of society.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't do anything about it. I can only, you know, raise awareness to interviews such as this
Sure.
so people know more about it.
And when did you realize that you were trans?
So I knew I was born into the wrong body since I was 5.
Yeah.
I really liked Barbie.
Yeah.
I really liked the Powerpuff Girls.
Sure.
I just found like everything that's feminine, so, you know, I found an affinity towards things like that.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I think from that point on, I was just questioning myself a lot. You know, I was asking myself like, okay, so if all the boys were playing football, you know, they were playing video games, why am I wanting to, you know, play with Barbie dolls? And
Yeah.
why do I love Powerpuff Girls so much? And why do I love Pink?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and obviously at 5 you learn what's male and what's female, you know, what's
Yeah.
right for a man, for a boy to do, and what's right for a girl to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really caused a lot of dysphoria in my mind.
Yeah.
And I didn't know there was such a term called transgender.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know there were trans women. I didn't know they existed. But I knew that there was something off about me.
At 5, you realized that you were different. At what point did you kind of realize and decide to become a woman?
23 years old.
Yeah.
I waited a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I really went through life as male,
Sure.
you know, and decided that it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, when you're young, you don't really know, you know, and I'm not the kind of person that jumps into things. I like to just think it through, make sure it's really what I want to do. And I just held it out. I was gay for a couple of years of my life.
Yeah.
To most of my life, actually.
Yeah.
And I thought I was a gay man. And it turns out that I wasn't homosexual.
Mm.
I was transsexual.
Sure. I know that you did the national service and served
I
in
did.
the Army.
Yeah.
That must have been, was it a challenge, or were they accepting to you as a gay man at that point? What was your NS like?
It was unique because I met boys who were very homophobic,
Mhm.
and I met boys who were just super chill about everything.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in the army, like I had bunkmates who were so, I was in denial. You know, I was hiding, obviously, being in the closet. So
So you were in the closet
I was in
at
the
that
closet.
point.
I
Yeah.
was in the closet for most of my life.
Yeah.
You know, and when these boys came to me and they could see that I was so feminine. You know, I had like a collection of body lotions from Victoria's Secret in my locker. You know, I had the perfect hair. You know, I mean, I had perfectly straight, groomed hair. My skin was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I smelled nice. You know, and it's in a very feminine way. It's not really in a very metrosexual way. So I
Yeah.
think a lot of them realized that this boy is meant to be a girl.
Yeah.
You know, and they made fun of me, and I kind of like got really defensive. So they
Yeah.
kind of just stopped doing it.
Sure.
But they treated me with respect.
So yeah, can you tell us about your transition, kind of the moment that you decided to transition and the whole physical process of transition?
So at 23, when I finished school, you know, I decided to hold this off till after school.
Yeah.
You know, I finished my university, and when I was done with that, I was like, okay, I finished the education part of my life,
Yeah.
at least the ones that I needed, you know, to get a job, to get a decent job. And I realized that, okay, let's do something for me.
Yeah.
Let's look into this. And it just happened naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is transgender? And how do you do it? What do you do? Just get a boob job?
Mhm.
Like, how, you know? And then I realized, I learned more about it. You take hormones.
Yeah.
You know, you go for psychology, you know, sessions,
Mhm.
and you get surgery.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just like, hey, I want to be a woman, and next day I put on a wig and I'm a woman.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like that. It's so much more to that
Sure.
than just putting on a dress and a wig.
Yeah.
You know, so it was then that I realized, okay, I'll try. So I got some hormone prescriptions,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I tried it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do it for 3 months. You know, and if I don't like it, I'll just stop it and it'll just reverse,
Mm-hmm.
because my male body was producing testosterone.
Yeah.
You know, and after 3 months, when I popped the first pill, that was the most at home
Wow.
I've ever felt in my body in the 23 years I've lived my life.
Yeah. Can you tell us about the actual physical surgeries? What was the sequence and what was that
Okay.
experience like?
So from the top,
Yeah.
I did a mammoplasty at first,
Yeah.
which is my boob job,
Yeah.
and I did my voice surgery
Mhm.
and my tracheal shave, which
Mhm.
is for the neck and for the adjustment of the voice to a more female frequency.
Yeah.
You know, and then I did my vaginoplasty. That was the biggest one.
Did you do that here in Singapore or where?
Most of my surgeries were done in Thailand,
In Thailand.
different parts of Thailand, but
Yeah.
most of it is in Thailand. So my lower part of my body, from the neck down, is made in Thailand. Yeah.
So how long was the recovery from the transition surgery, and how long before it was fully functional?
Yeah, well, for my vaginoplasty, it took it was fully functional, you know, all the basic functions of a female reproductive organ
Mhm.
could be used within 6 months.
Yeah.
But for it to fully be normal and look normal and just be one with my body, about a year to a year and a half.
Yeah. And you had a very famous quote that actually we at Coconuts wrote about, that you said, if I die, bury me with a vagina.
Yes, I saw
something
that.
like that.
It was the headlines.
Yes.
I
Can
said
you
that
just
to
tell
the
us about
doctor.
that? And was there a real risk that you could die? And
Well, there's a risk in a big surgery because it's in one of the, you know, it's the lower body. This
Yeah.
is where blood flows, and I think that I've never been through such a big surgery before.
Yeah.
You know, with my throat and my chest, you know, it's just a small incision through, you know, like the incision is basically this big,
yeah,
you know, but for this they're cutting everything open,
yeah,
you know, and it's one of the places where blood flows to,
yeah,
you know, and there's a lot of implications, a lot of risks if if it goes wrong. You can't pee, which is also bad for you. If you can't pee, you get UTIs, you get kidney stones, you die. All that risk. And the thing is, I've heard so many stories from my friends about so many trans women just developing all these complications.
Yeah.
After the surgery, like they can't use their lower body, their reproductive organ.
Yeah.
They can't pee properly. They get UTIs.
Yeah.
And I realized that, okay, this is what I want to do. I have to be prepared that I might not live to see the next day. And I told the doctor during consultation, like, doctor, if I'm not gonna make it, just bury me as it is. Don't just stop when I'm not breathing. Finish it, sew it up, make sure I have like a vagina. I don't care if it's swollen. Put me in the grave, like that.
You paid for it.
I paid
you want
for
to get
it.
your money's worth.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm quite a spiritual person. I feel like that would set my soul at peace.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't reject the penis I used to have.
Yeah.
I just want it in a different form.
Sure. And so what is the dating scene like in Singapore as a trans woman? And forgive my ignorance again, like, is it on apps? Is there different types of trans women? And
yes,
tell us about
there
that.
are different types of trans women,
Yeah.
But the key subdivision is post-op and pre-op. Post-op meaning they've done the vaginoplasty.
Yeah.
Pre-op meaning they still have their penis.
Sure.
But physically they look like a woman with the long hair and the boobs and everything. So the dating scene was very unique when I was pre-op because I was being seen at like a fetish. I still am being seen like a fetish, but a different kind of fetish now.
Sure.
But back then they just wanted a girl with something extra.
Sure.
And there are a lot of men who have this fantasy, and they go after trans women.
Yeah.
Obviously for the physical reasons only, for that reason. And it just frustrated me because when I date somebody, I want to date them seriously.
Yeah.
But all these boys would just take me for a ride.
Yeah.
Only to dump me. And the reason being, you're not really a woman.
Sure. And is it apps that are kind of the main scene, or are there bars that are more for the trans dating scene?
I think it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's very easy to identify trans women.
Yeah.
If you have the eye for it. Obviously there's some very beautiful ones. Some very convincing, they call it possible ones. I don't like that term, but it's what they use. And someone who has an interest in trans women will be able to know if someone's trans.
Yeah.
And it's a very special group of men, who can appreciate a trans woman's beauty.
Yeah.
And they will know. They will know, and they will just accept her for whoever she is.
Yeah.
And obviously on the apps, a lot of trans women are there. So a lot of guys who want to look for trans women, they go to these apps.
Yeah. Swipe. So you were married to a man, I think, from Denmark, right?
Yes.
And now you're divorced.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your marriage?
That marriage was a rocky one.
Sure.
But we met each other for a reason, for sure. For life lessons.
Yeah.
And we met when he was on vacation here. He has parents. One of his parents is living here.
Yeah.
And we met on a dating app.
Yeah.
And we decided to go out as friends. And the reason why he went out with me was because he found me very interesting. He knew that I was transgender.
Yeah.
And he found it very intriguing. Not in a sexual way, more like a friendly way. Like he really wanted to know more about me.
Yeah.
Because I think in Denmark, at that time, it wasn't really a big thing either. It was 4 years ago. So now we went on a date, or rather like a friendly date, and we fell in love.
After one day?
Well, there was that feeling.
Yeah.
There was that feeling we really liked each other,
Yeah.
and it just grew.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hung out for 3 weeks, and he left back to Denmark. We couldn't forget each other. We tried to, and we fell in love, and it became a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
We lived in each other's countries back and forth for about a year.
Yeah.
And I moved there for another year.
Yeah.
And got married to him
Mm-hmm.
over there, and I stayed there. I lived in Denmark. And it was a good experience. But I think that as you grow up, you want different things, and I was also developing as a trans woman.
Yeah.
And as I got older, I realized that what, when he met me, I was super insecure about myself.
Yeah.
I did not have the bottom surgery done. My confidence level was just really low.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we found each other at that time, and we
Yeah.
both had similar life stories, just that his was in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And we fell in love because of that. Like misery loves company.
Mm.
And then we fell in love because of that, and it just became toxic.
Really? And so you guys split up and you moved back here to Singapore?
We didn't want to split up. We wanted to keep holding on,
Yeah.
but we both were not happy.
Yeah.
We both knew at the back of our minds that this was not something that was forever.
Yeah.
At least us being together was not forever.
Sure.
Yeah. And it took a long time for me to accept it. I've only recently just accepted it, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest.
Sure.
I've been divorced for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for about 2 years already. And he's with someone else now.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously dating different people.
Sure.
And but when you look back at such a story, at such a time of your life, you realize that you will never ever forget such an important and life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Your first marriage.
Yeah. And was he with you as you transitioned?
Yes,
So you met
I
him
think that
before
was
and
what
then-
made it so
yeah.
special,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Because when he met me, I only had my boobs done.
Yeah.
He saw me through my voice surgery. He did not come with me
Yeah.
on the voice surgery. He did come with me for this one when nobody else was there with
Yeah.
me. Because I had a little bit of a misunderstanding with my family,
Mhm.
and I felt like I needed to do this alone.
Yeah.
But obviously I couldn't walk after the
Mhm.
surgery. So he flew down to be with me. He took care of me, and he kind of like nursed me back to being somewhat okay,
Yeah.
being functional,
Mm-hmm.
and I really appreciate him for that.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's his purpose. He came into my life to make sure I finished what I started.
Sure. What do you think about men who are attracted to trans women, whether they're pre-op or post-op, and what is their sexuality?
Well, I would say bisexual.
Yeah.
If I had
Okay.
to do a hit in the ballpark, I would say
Yeah.
bisexual.
Mhm.
But sexuality is a spectrum.
Yeah.
I've dated men who are pansexual.
Mhm.
I've dated men who are identified as heterosexual.
Mhm.
And I think every man is very individual
Mhm.
with how he views his sexuality.
Yeah.
What for man sexuality is who he wants to procreate with.
Yeah.
For a man. So I think he creates his own rules
Sure.
in his mind, and these rules are governed by his friends,
Mhm.
his family, who he's exposed to, what he's exposed to, and basically how he grew up as a boy
Sure.
and into a man. And even then, he keeps experiencing things. So obviously the men who I've dated are a bit more experimental.
Yeah.
They are a bit more open to the concept of new things,
Yeah.
more adventurous.
Mhm.
And they usually don't believe in labels. It is what it is to them, and
Yeah.
they're like, okay, if I can get off
Yeah.
on that, then this is what I want.
Yeah.
And I've come to learn that, you know, putting a label on something just complicates things. You know, and it just gives you a lot of unnecessary stress
Yeah.
on dating that doesn't need to be there.
Sure.
You know, if you see what you like, if you're attracted to it and you like the person, just go for it.
Sure.
You know, but when I was younger, obviously I wasn't this open.
Yeah.
You know, I'm raised in Singapore where
Yeah.
black is black, white is white, and I had a very strong opinion about being female and what being female is.
Yeah.
So, back then I used to date only heterosexual guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had kind of a policy of that because you really wanted to define yourself as a woman and define
Yeah.
them as being
I
heterosexual.
wanted to
Um,
experience what it's like to be with a heterosexual guy
yeah.
because I wanted to know what it's like to be a woman.
Yeah.
But over the years of being, you know, with my transition and everything, I realized that I will never be a cisgender woman.
Mm.
I'm not born a woman.
Yeah.
I'm born male.
Sure.
I transitioned into one,
Hmm.
and I will and forever will be a transgender woman.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm not a woman.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a different type of woman.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Changing it up again, tell us about your wig business.
It's called Nigerian Weave. It's
Yeah.
a business. It's a hair weave business.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, my products are hair extensions and lace front wigs.
Yeah.
So basically, I create them. You know, it's my own brand,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw like a gap in the market for good hair extensions. And whenever I would buy extensions, I would have to order in from the United States. And I decided, why not I bring something which has not made its way to Singapore,
Yeah.
you know, wigs and hair extensions, which actually look nice, you know,
Mhm.
which look legit, and which are made for the younger, more trendy girls who want to follow modern trends.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the wigs you see here are I just made for the older ladies who are balding.
Mm.
You know, and I realized that, you know, the younger girls want it too.
Yeah.
We want to change our haircut. We want to have pink hair. We want to have blonde hair, but we can't have blonde hair for work.
Yeah.
You know, we want to wear it just for one night
Mm-hmm.
or one day and go back to work with dark hair.
Sure.
You know, because there's strict working office rules in Singapore.
Mm.
You know,
No
and
pink hair.
exactly. And I realized that, okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna be that company which offers that.
Sure.
You know, because there are so many companies in the USA that do that.
Yeah. I mean, is it inspired at all by some big artists like Cardi B, etc., that are really wearing wigs all the time? And you
Kylie
said
Jenner.
Kylie Jenner too. Okay. Yeah.
Kylie Jenner. So, Life of Kylie was on TV, and I was in my living room in cold Denmark on a cold winter's day.
Mhm.
Winter's day,
Yeah.
you know, and I realized that Kylie's hair is always changing. Like, she's in one shot she's blonde, in another shot she has black hair, in another shot she has short hair, and I was like, how does she do this? You know, and I phone out Google wigs.
And so you also model. Can you
I
tell us
do.
about some of the modeling gigs you've done? And is that another thing that you're very actively doing?
Yeah. Well, I'm right now in Singapore. I'm recognized as one of Singapore's first few transgender models.
Yeah.
It's something which is very new to this country.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of jobs from brands who want to be inclusive,
Yeah.
which is something which is close to my heart. You know, I
Yeah.
really like doing that kind of jobs because I feel like I'm not only doing something which I love, you know, runway and fashion. I'm doing something which also some advocacy work for my community.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like 3 birds in 1 stone.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like yeah, it's been really good so far. You know, I'm waiting to see where it takes me,
Yeah.
but so far it's been going on a
Cool.
nice. You know, it's going up really nicely. It's
Well, the sky's the limit now, right? I mean,
It
there's some
is.
very famous transgender models globally. Right?
yeah, man. The thing is, they get a lot of attention because transgender models are so unique.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I realized is that all of them have very unique faces,
Yeah.
unique bodies. You know, and they all come in different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people are very intrigued at the beauty of trans women,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of them only know about the ones in Thailand who do the cabaret shows. But a cabaret trans woman has a very different look
Yeah.
from a high fashion transgender model.
Yeah.
You know, it's two different looks, you know, and I think that is what people feel
Sure.
is so intriguing and so interesting to watch and see.
So, what would you say to young trans women who have not transitioned yet in Singapore that are thinking about transitioning?
Well, there's so many of them. I see them on a daily basis,
Yeah.
you know, on a weekly basis. A lot of them are very, you know, just trying to find their place in this world.
Yeah.
And my advice to them is to just be patient.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's very discomforting to live like that, to wake up knowing every day you don't belong to anybody, but you do belong somewhere. You just have to walk a further journey to get to where you belong.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are born into the bodies they belong to.
Yeah.
You know, for trans women, I feel like you just have to realize that this is not really who you're meant to be. You're meant to be someone else, well, physically at least, and then you're supposed to just work for it, work your way towards it.
Coconuts TV.